Welcome to Ross Sheppard High School in the 25th Annual Totem Hoop Classic from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. My name is Ben Feldman, and I'll be your play-by-play announcer. My guest color commentator today will be Alex Tonzi. Today's game will be Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds versus the Lindsay Thurber Raiders. This is an ICU video production procast. We have Rob Zitlau on the camera and Kevin Kyle on replays. We're very excited to be procasting this game from our fantastic new gym, as we're off to a quick 3-2 lead here, as a Termagok just comes up short of the layup attempt, pulls up with the three, just short of the mark. Number 24 for the Raiders, pushing it up. Number 9, Quad Ara now with the shot, rebounded by Grayson Youngs as he brings up the ball, pushing it down in the T-Birds' beautiful new baby blue North Carolina themed jerseys. Bradley Bright with the ball, with his go-to spin move, looks like a pass. Max Petrick and one. Looking to complete the play here. Great layup from the big man. I'm joined with Alex Tonzi, as I said earlier, who is actually filling in for Mike Lina, who was with us yesterday. He's currently about to put his little baby to sleep, who had a tough day here at Shep during the opening ceremonies. Alex, good to have you with us.
Thanks, Ben. Great to be here. Happy to commentate on these two athletic teams here today.
Yes, that is true, and they are quite the athletes, as we've mentioned before in the previous broadcast yesterday, where Grayson Youngs and his Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds defeated Paul Kane. We are now in the semifinal game as number 6, Sean Vandervils, hits the three. Another three, 6-4.
Ooh, good body awareness there from Mature.
Great job by Termagok getting to the hoop. Tie game, 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes left in this first quarter action. 6-6. Seems at the early going that the Lindsay Thurber Raiders are showing that they can shoot the three ball a little bit. So we'll see if Dave Youngs and his team can make some adjustments. As it just gets around there, the toilet bowl, Vince Barbuco with the quick two. Thurber to be picking up in the half-court trap here. Tonzi, you know, Alex, you spoke of athleticism, and you have a big part to deal with these students and their athleticism, being that you are our sports medicine, or pardon me, sports performance guru here at the school. We're quite lucky to have you. You know, do you feel like you do have quite the impact? How do you feel here working with these students at Ross Sheppard as Madit Louis hits that tough layup?
You know, funny you say that. Madit Louis himself is a very dedicated student in that very class, and you know, you can really see the results of his hard work here on the court today as he moves the ball up quickly to Grayson Youngs.
He definitely, you know, there's a big change in his body and his athleticism over the past year. You know, it seems like he's been really dedicated to his training, Alex. What do you have to say?
Yeah, you know, Madit's one of the first guys in there, one of the last guys to leave. Very concerned with his technique, and it shows. You know, he's gotten a lot stronger, gotten a lot faster. Can really move out there. You know, but he's not the only one on this team that puts in the work in the weight room. Yeah,
you did recall, as we discussed previously, you said Grayson Youngs was one of those very players as well.
Yeah, number 6, Grayson Youngs is a big component in the weight room, you know, and during sports performance and after school, through the summer months, you know, he's putting in that time to get the results.
And as you said, as you told me yesterday, he had a 9-foot broad jump.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, one of the best old time we've recorded here at Ross Sheppard. So.
That's quite impressive. I feel like when you look at Grayson, you know, you see someone who's a deceivingly good athlete.
Yeah, you know, he's a pretty underassuming guy. You know, he's not an overly big guy. You know, maybe not overly muscular, but he's got a lot of power in his legs. So it really works for him out there on the court. Yeah, dual sport athlete too, which is more than dual sport.
Oh yeah, we talked about that as well. Grayson is probably a triple sport athlete. He plays volleyball before this season, and he has the basketball season, and straight after he's into handball. So, you know, it's nice to see that dedication with someone like Grayson, who puts so much time into his athletics, and as he hopes to carry this Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds to a look back into the Totem Hoop Classic Championship.
Speak
as Grayson brings
Grayson
in
Youngs.
You know,
nice take, Grayson.
Great take by Youngs there, number 6. I was hoping maybe he'd go for a dunk and show us a little bit of his vertical. Maybe like to impress you a little bit there, Alex.
You know, humble kid goes for the safe play, smart play.
Yeah, and you know that's something that we must not take away from Grayson. He is one of the most fundamentally smart and sound players here for Ross Sheppard, which is always nice to see. And it's nice to see this T-Birds team that has a very mixed variety of different grades, but you know, grade levels. But they, Grayson brings that fundamentals, and you know, Shep has got a little bit of everything. They've got the athletes, they've got the guys who are good fundamental players, and you know, I think they each complement each other really well. As number 8, Vince Barbuco hits the deep 3, the pullback, bringing the lead to the Raiders again, 11-0, with 5 minutes to go into the game. Grayson Young's pushing up the ball to Atur Magok. Oh, wow, good finish. I was thinking he was going to go for a poster there. Instead, finishes with the easy, well, made it look easy, I guess, layup. Maybe not for you, Alex.
Yeah, not for me, definitely. Nice, gentle lay in there from Atur Magok.
He's got great hands, and he's got quite the strides. Well, it looks like the ball slipped from number 14, Andrew Reed. This ball gets pushed to Atur Magok, and he finishes the flush with authority.
Another great athlete, another guy who's got a tremendous vertical, Atur.
He's one of those guys that you look at yourself and you kind of scratch yourself in the head just thinking, I can't believe that athleticism on that kid, and you wish that you had that a bit yourself, but you know, that kid definitely is quite the natural. As number 9 from Lindsay Thurber, Kuwait Ara finishes the deep 2. Great pass by Grayson Youngs to Max Petrick, who's looking to answer back with another strong performance as he led the T-Birds in the big win yesterday in the quarterfinal action for the Thunderbirds as they defeated Paul Kane.
Of course, Max comes from that great West Min program down the street. You know, another tremendous guy who puts in the effort here.
It's always nice to see our feeder students coming from the different schools in our area have success, Max Petrick being one of them. And, you know, it's because of people like him, not just as an athlete, and Max is another one of those kids who are in sports performance with you, but he's also a great student.
Oh, phenomenal.
He's a great person in this school, and it's guys like that who really make it nice to be coaching and be part of their lives as young adults.
Totally. He brings everything you want in an athlete, that's for sure. You know?
Grayson Youngs with the great finish. Taking that contact.
You know, a year ago, I don't think Grayson Youngs would have made that play, but
I agree.
You know, another year of maturation and another year of training, and he's really starting to look good out there.
It's pretty exciting and incredible to see the difference, you know, a year makes with these students as we have a timeout here called. 18-13 the score, 3.5 minutes left to go. As we get settled here in the first game after the opening ceremonies of the 25th Totem Hoop Classic. We'll join you right away in just a minute. We're back here, 3.5 to go, 13-18 the score as Grayson Youngs looks to complete the and one play. As we have number 8, Peter Dang, and Keon Moore returning to action here, getting their first taste of action, in this first quarter game here in the semifinals of the Totem Hoop Classic.
Tough defense there from the T-Birds, really starting to press here.
It's nice to see Coach Youngs kind of change up the tempo here and maybe take away some of that time, some of the strategies that Lindsay Thurber looked to create coming off of that timeout. Madit Louith with the 3. He hits it.
You can't leave that guy open at the top of the three-point line like that.
No, you definitely can't, Alex. And Shep has the great response as Lindsay Thurber had the early lead in regards to the three-point shooting as Medit Louif with the steal. You know, and that to me looks like FIBA's changed quite the rules. I'd say that's not a basketball foul there, but maybe it did look like he was attempting to go for the ball.
Yeah, you can see number 4, Keon Moore there confronting his, or I guess consoling his teammate there, Medit, who thought that shouldn't have been a foul. But you know, it's good to see Keon take a little bit of a leadership role on with his team here. Grade 12 guy.
And a new role for Keon, as this is probably his first go as Peter Dang hits the 3, and he struggled a little bit yesterday, but looks to get into his rhythm early this game as Shep is now up 25-13. Keon Moore, for the last 2 years with the Thunderbirds senior team, has been their starter go-to guard, but this year, at the start of the year, with the return of Medit, it seems that he's actually taken the 6-man role, which I think he's come to grips with and is taking it well. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
Well, I mean, anytime you got a 1-2 punch like Medit and Keon, you're going to be a dangerous team in, I think, this league. And I think Youngs is using them in an intelligent way, you know, kind of a 1-2 punch type scenario. And I think both players kind of see the benefit in doing that. So
that he is. Dave Youngs, you know, having the ability to have numerous weapons with this young and up-and-coming Thunderbird team, as many of these boys will be returning next season. Great finish, 27-13 Shep, just under 2 minutes left in this quarter. As Medit Louif looking to get the steal. Keon Moore now putting pressure. He gets the steal. He's pushing the ball up to Medit Louif. Let's see what he does with this finish. A little bit of contact, no good. Peter Dang cleans up the rebound to Grayson Youngs. You cannot let that kid shoot.
No way.
Like father, like son.
Like father, like son. Yeah, Grayson's, you know, in the gym in the morning, putting up shots every day just about here. And practice makes perfect, I guess.
Well, if you want to talk about commitment, I mean, Grayson Youngs defines that, that's for sure. As the big man, number 23, I don't have him on my list, so I'm not sure, but 23, the big man with a great finish, cleaning up after his own missed layup. 30-15.
Kind of looks like another T-Bird that used to play here, Mike Lina, actually, a younger version here.
I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate that, but you know the difference in his there's quite a distinct. It looks like there could be a relation, but nonetheless, we'll keep that to ourselves. Medit Louif putting some pressure on number 6, Sean Vandervilles. As Grayson Youngs diving for the loose ball, sacrificing his body, coming up with the loose ball to Medit Louif, who's looking to push the pace as we have 40 seconds left in this first quarter action. Medit Louif to skip back to Grayson Youngs, and the 3. Great job by this Thunderbird team, putting a statement on this first quarter, 33-15. 28 seconds to go in this one.
You know, they worked the ball around really well there, got Grayson on an open look, and like we said before, if that guy has time and space, he's going to make you pay. So
something that Lindsay Thurber definitely is going to have to make adjustments around, as number 8, Vince Barbuco, makes the deep 3 count, bringing the lead to 33-18 now for Shep. 7 seconds to go. Medit Louif with the ball. Wow, Medit Louif with the huge attempt off the poster. Just comes up short of it, but good for that young man attempting that very difficult play.
Yeah, that was quite difficult. Medit didn't have a lot of run up there, and he did the best he could. So
the one thing I do want to say, Alex, is I'm really impressed to see that bucket by Grayson Youngs, actually. The best thing about that was before he made that play happen, he sacrificed his body, put his body on the line, dove for that loose ball, and with that, create that chance for the T-Birds to get back to Grayson and hit that 3.
Yeah, you know, that really just speaks to Grayson's toughness and his awareness on the ball court. You know, not a lot of guys would have the mindfulness to get open like that after making a big play on the defensive end. So, you know, Grayson's looking really good out there this quarter.
Namaste, I agree. Namaste, I agree with that mindfulness, but also a true look at his character. And you know, Grayson, he's more of a kid who's going to lead by action. Not a very vocal student here at the school, but he does have quite the personality once you get to know him. Quite the shy, quiet kid, much like his father. As the score here, with the first quarter coming to break, or first break coming through quick here. Ross Sheppard 33, the Lindsay Thurber Raiders 18. Alex, this is your 3rd year at the school, correct?
That's correct, Ben.
And how have you enjoyed your time here?
You know, it's been great. A lot of committed athletes, a lot of kids wanting to get better. Makes my job pretty easy here as a strength and conditioning coach. So happy to be here. Totem Hoop's a great tournament, and from what I can see, it continues to grow, and it's kind of nice to be a part of. So.
And it's great to have you here, Alex, and thanks for filling in for the Mr. Mike Lina, who is currently looks to be back in the school, but we'll see if maybe Alex will just work double time for us and continue, as he's done quite a good job. Thank you for joining us. As Keon Moore
here,
Keon with the steal, with the deep 3. Oh, good effort by him, but Uriel Atigua with a little bit too comfortable there with the behind the back turnover. Stiengletti picking up the foul there. That'll be his first foul of the game.
Well, Coach Young's going with a little bit of a, well, mind you, not too young of a lineup here, but Steen's a grade 10 kid, new to the school, Hardesty product. Actually, his dad's helping Coach Young's coach the team, so a guy who's been around basketball a long time. Yes,
his dad being Nevin Gleddy, former coach in the CIS, now here coaching his son and the Thunderbirds. As number 24, again, the numbers are correct here, but number 24 for Lindsay Thurber with another 3. This team has shot the ball extremely well in this opening half. Stiengletti looking for the deep 2, no good. Uriel Atigua diving for the loose ball, something he does very well. Creates the turnover, draws Sheppard basketball again as Keon Moore looks to control the pace again. Back to Uriel Atigua, bring it in, great crossover move, can he finish? No, but number 12, Wayne Oriambo with the rebound, and again, the Shep creates another turnover as they have the ball again. Keon Moore with a great penetration to Stiengletti, who is a great shooter. Just short of the mark, but again, another offensive rebound for this Ross Sheppard Thunderbird team. Peter Dang now with the ball, swinging it to Keon Moore with a great shot fake. And another miss, but again, 3 really good opportunities for this Ross Sheppard Thunderbird team to help their lead, increase their lead. 33-21, 8.5 to go in this second quarter. Stiengletti with the great help side creates another turnover. Sorry, Alex, you were saying.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Youngs would be upset with that offensive possession. I mean, we're getting open looks there. Guys just aren't executing at the moment, but I'm sure they're going to get back to it here right away.
Yeah, definitely the shots that they want to shoot, but just got to be able to finish, and maybe that's just, a little bit of the jitters after a great opening ceremonies here at Shep. And as you were saying, Alex, I did want to mention, this is not quite a very young lineup for the Thunderbirds, but only one of the players currently on the floor, that being Keon Moore, is a returning player. The rest of the players were either in the junior program here at Shep, with Wayne Oriambo being one of them, Peter Dang from Jasper Place, and Uriel Atigua coming from Manitoba.
Yeah, Uriel's, kind of an anomaly for a basketball player in a way. He's, not to take anything away from these guys, as they're all great students, but Uriel's French immersion student. He's an honor student. Was a little bit apprehensive of playing here. Didn't want it to take away from his studies, but after some convincing from some of the guys on the team, he decided to join the team, try out, and he's been quite an addition to this Ross Sheppard team.
Yes, I would say that he has made his presence felt early with this Thunderbirds team, who before this tournament had to compete in the Edmonton Public Metro Athletics ability round with Keon Moore with the great power layup.
Great patience
and he gets
there,
the steal. Oh, potential steal, just comes up short.
Of course, you T-Bird fans will remember that Keon Moore put on quite a clinic in our skills competition earlier. I think edging out the nearest competition by about 1 second, actually, Ben, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did a great job, and being that it is home court advantage, he definitely didn't have that going for him, aside from the crowd being with his on his back and cheering his way through to try to compete and get him going. But Keon did a great job and really helped make it was a good way to end the opening ceremonies for sure with that win by him.
Yeah, very poised performance by him out there for sure. I mean, it can't be easy, having 2,000 people screaming for you, but Keon seemed to block it all out and perform quite well there.
Yeah, very impressive. As number 10, the the grade 10 forward, Aware looking to make his way into his first look in action here. 6 minutes and 50 seconds, 35-23 Ross Sheppard as Uriel Atigla comes up short of the three. You know, Uriel, he's a little bit inconsistent, but the one thing you will always get out of Uriel Atigla is his effort. He puts in a full effort, and he's a great defender, and he really adds a really big and crucial element to this Ross Sheppard Thunderbird team.
Yeah, I heard recently Coach Young's praise him as well, saying he's one of the best defenders they've had in this program.
As he comes up with the steal, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. And he makes it look easy with the quick 2 points off that steal.
Left-hand finish too there, so.
Oh, he just comes up short of that steal, but number 3 for Thurber, looking for the, Steen Gleddy just about.
Draws the foul there, yeah.
Almost gets it, but not quite there just yet, as we have a big lineup change here for Lindsay Thurber. And I apologize for those folks watching potentially from Red Deer. We don't have a quite accurate player roster for Lindsay Thurber, but we will work on that shortly. Regardless, 37 for the Thunderbirds and 23 for the Raiders. 6 1/4 left in this second quarter. Second free throw off the mark. Keon Moore cleaning up the rebound. He's pushing the ball up, trying to get the pace back the Thunderbirds' way. Great crossover move. Kicks it out to Uriel Atigla for another attempt at the three. This time just in and out. Great rebound by number 9, Quaid Ara. Oh, and a turnover there as they push up the ball. Aware, bringing up. Attempts to get it to Steen Gleddy, but pass intercepted. Keon Moore, great defensive play, but even better finish by number 24 from Lindsay Thurber. Looks like Lindsay Thurber might be in a little bit of a zone action, so it looks like the T-Birds are going to try to shoot their way out of this zone. We'll see if they can do that. Their shot selections have been good. However, they've just come up short on a couple of occasions here. Coach Youngs will look to have his players run a proper zone O. Uriel Atigla going up with the foul. Basket no good, but he'll be shooting 2. As we have Grayson Youngs, number 6, looking to get back into this game. And Medit Louith also coming back. Steen Gleddy and Keon Moore out for this T-Birds.
Yeah, so another great advantage this team has is, again, the ability to employ both Keon Moore and Medit at the point guard position. So look for Medit here to really take control of the game. He's got a little bit of a break, as Keon did quite a great job getting some open looks for the Shep T-Birds here. And
as we mentioned before in the previous broadcast, this is the one thing that Ross Sheppard has that you know most teams really struggle with, and it's that depth. They have so many different weapons on this team that they have tons of different resources, and you know they can make subs, and they have guys that they can trust to come into the game as they look to continue their lead. Uriel Atigla making it look easy, cleaning up his own mess, puts it up for 2, 40-25 for Shep. And again, another turnover by Lindsay Thurber. Lindsay Thurber, I talked to their coach, Carl Light, just before the game. He said this has been their 6th game in 5 days, so it's been quite a load for this young team. He actually mentioned to me that their junior team there in Red Deer is quite strong, and they would have had a couple grade 10s on their team that could have played seniors, but they decided to keep them with the junior program, which is obviously a nice way to kind of feed the senior team for the next following years to come.
Yeah, and I mean, we could see that with our team here at Shep. A lot of the guys here are products of our junior program, and it sounds like Lindsay Thurber's got a great program down there, and they're developing players, which is what you want to do at the high school level.
Absolutely, and before that, great hesitation dribble by Grayson Youngs, making his presence felt early into this, making his way back into the game as Uriel Atigla. Again, that's one of those guys, Uriel, he's constantly on the floor. I don't know what he feels like after each game, but his body definitely takes a beating.
Yeah, he's a very well-conditioned basketball player, that's for sure. I think, you know, not super involved in the program here at Ross Shep, but he comes from a good program in Manitoba where they stress that, and, you know, you can see that physicality in his game. He plays much bigger than his height would dictate.
Absolutely there, Alex. As Lindsay Thurber looks to be out of their zone and back to a man-to-man. Aware with the floater. Not my favorite choice of shot, but nonetheless, it was taken. 42-27, Ross Sheppard right now with just under 4 minutes left in this game.
Tough D here from Ross Sheppard, really stymieing Lindsay Thurber.
It's amazing what good defense can do for your basketball team. It definitely can create a lot of momentum. Wow, great finish there. By number 24, again, we don't have the accurate roster, but the great finish as he picks up a really hard foul from Bradley Bright. 42-29 for Ross Sheppard. 3 minutes 35 left in this second quarter. Alex, did you watch the game yesterday with this same senior men's team against the Paul Kane Blues?
I did happen to see that one, yeah.
Do you happen to have any favorites right now for tournament MVP? That is, if Ross Sheppard can make their way to the championship game?
You know, I think right now I've seen a pretty good collective team effort. Guys that stand out to me, though, would have to be Max Petrick and Grayson Youngs. Both guys are kind of making it happen out there.
Yes, I agree. Some very tough decisions to make if this Ross Sheppard team can end up winning a gold medal here at the Totem Hoop Classic, which would be quite a nice way to cap off this 25th anniversary game. I would say that of those two, also comes to mind is Medit Louith, and you know what? Keon Moore also, two other players. So 4 very good players for this Ross Sheppard Thunderbird team, making the organizers have a tough decision to see who could be the tournament MVP. That is, if they come up with the win.
Yeah, and that is the hard thing, Ben. This is quite a stacked field here. So, you know, Ross Sheppard or even Lindsay Thurber, they're in for a real money run after they get through this game. So certainly this game's not over.
Great penetration and pass by Grayson Youngs as Bradley Bright just steps out of bounds, a little bit frustrated with himself. Bradley Bright, one of those players, very passionate, very emotional, wears his heart on his sleeve, and you know, he's quite the motor for this team. He's a workhorse, and he's a very good athlete.
Tremendous athlete, yeah. Puts a lot of effort into this, into basketball, and is one of the heart and soul guys for this T-Birds team.
You got that right, and you know, it's amazing how some of these guys don't spend as much time as, you know, the Grayson Youngs and Max Petrick, but you know, these guys don't spend much time in your gym, Alex, but you know, that athleticism is still there. It's amazing how natural it is with some of these players.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you can really kind of see that as they play here. You know, actually I think a lot of these guys are or have taken the sports performance program, so they have gotten some training, but again, you're right, Ben, some of these guys are just genetically gifted athletes, and you can really see it out there.
I couldn't agree more as we see the highlights here. There's that hesitation move we talked about from Grayson. He's had a very strong first half of play for this Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds team, and there you have that tough foul from Bradley Bright as number 24 picked up the N1. Great start to this second game here for Shep as they're in their semifinal, and last year Ross Sheppard was in the finals, but just came up short against the team from McGrath. They are a very strong team, always a perennial powerhouse in the 4A provincial championships.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they had a few great shooters last year, that McGrath team.
Yep, there's certain things you definitely can anticipate with those teams from the south, that being very disciplined, run and gun, and very good shooters. It's always fun to see that as, yes, last year Shep was the runner-up, and they're looking to make a statement as they're looking to make their way into the finals and hopefully win a championship here at Shep. This would be their first time winning since 2014, where tournament MVP was Abdul Al-Tamimi, a former player here at Shep, one of the most talented and gifted players I've seen here in the program, as Lindsay Thurber makes their way back into a 2-3 zone, and number 7 Jonathan Gomes looking to make his presence felt, especially at the three-point line for this team.
Of course, Gomes is another product of that West Mid program down the street here. Great shooter, great awareness on the court. Hopefully he can make his presence felt here.
Him alongside Max Petrick and Jesse Newman are our Westminster Warriors alumni. And it's been great to have those students come to this Shep and come and join this program. They are great students and phenomenal people, and they're just great positive students to have at this school. We enjoy, they truly make their presence felt here at the school. a player who isn't playing basketball this year, but a friend of theirs, Travell Matthias, not playing basketball, as I said, but he's quite into football, as you've been working with him on a regular basis there, Alex.
Yeah, another great athlete, another guy who pushes himself in the weight room. I'm sure you would have liked to have him on your team, Ben, but you know, sometimes you got to make a choice and decide what's important to you. So.
It would have been nice, and at the same time, you know, you really appreciate those multi-sport athletes, but then it comes that tough time where you have to make a choice between one sport or the other, and football was his natural sport, so we'll definitely, his presence will be missed, but I'm happy for him and wish him all the best. As the score is 44-36 for Ross Sheppard, as Lindsay Thurber slowly making their comeback, but then a great little layup there from Aware, number 10, the grade 10 forward here. Shep able to play their two grade 10 forwards, which you don't normally see with the senior programs, Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. I think both guys kind of bring a lot to the table here, so it makes it a little bit more easy to get them on the floor. You know, Aware's a pretty natural athlete out there, great length. Tall, has very long arms. You know, he's an easy fit into this Ross Sheppard program.
Couldn't agree more. As this our second quarter looking to come to a close. 46-36 for the Thunderbirds. 40 seconds left. The three just shy of the mark. Keon Moore looking to push the pace. Grayson Youngs with the pull-up three, just off the mark. Good shot there. Maybe a tough one. Coach Young's a little bit frustrated with that shot, but does trust his son to make good decisions and you know, maybe go for a little 2-for-1 action here for Lindsay Thurber if they can get a quick shot off.
You know, it's you got to remember these guys are in high school, and we got a packed gym here today, and you know, I'm sure the emotions are running a little wild here for these boys, but they're maintaining composure, which is nice to see, and I think we'll see a little bit of a turnaround come halftime.
And these early tournaments are the ones you really want to get those kind of get the cobwebs out, because you know there's more important basketball along the way, that's for sure. As Jesse Newman with the great pass, the low-high action to Bradley Bright, cutting down with a great finish. 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and this quarter is complete. The Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds with a 12-point lead. Lindsay Thurber keeping it close.
You know, a little bit before that play, that lovely finish by Brad Bright, Grayson Youngs made a terrific leap there to keep that ball in bounds. Kind of an unsung play, because I don't think he'll get credit for that on the score sheet. But
it's those little plays like that that you don't really notice too well by the people that maybe don't know the game, but it's guys who really are aware of the conscious efforts made by some of the team. I like to call them the garbage man, the guys who do the tough jobs, and Grayson Youngs being one of them. As we see our way to the halftime break, again, Ross Sheppard right now in the lead against the Lindsay Thurber Raiders, 48-36. We will join you soon. And we are back as the third quarter is about to get underway. The Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds 48, the Lindsay Thurber Raiders 36. Lindsay Thurber looking to be in a man-to-man.
Strong finish from Lindsay Thurber last quarter. I mean, they kind of closed the gap here on the T-Birds. It's looking a little closer here.
Grayson Youngs with the early three, no good. Actually, I apologize. It looks like they set up into a zone, 2-3 zone. Lindsay Thurber looking to have a better second half and maybe get this gap closer to their favor. But a 12-point lead for the T-Birds so far. What are your thoughts on the first half, Alex?
You know, fairly quick movement here from both teams. Both teams running down the court very fast. You know, it's a real athletic showcase here.
Yeah, absolutely. As Max Petrick with the great fake going baseline, goes middle with a nice hook shot. 50-36 T-Birds. Good steal by Grayson Youngs, reading that play like a book as he makes a great pass to Medit Louis. The great left-hand finish. Awesome IQ there shown by Grayson Youngs, anticipating that play a mile away. Thurber ball.
Medit with a nice soft lay in there as well. You know, he's got the vertical to be able to go up there and slam it home, but chose a safe play to get some points on the board here for the T-Birds. So
yeah, you definitely don't want to leave any points on the table in this one because it is a deceivingly close game here. This visiting Lindsay Thurber team from Red Deer putting in some great action here for this team. Has a Termagog, almost a poster dunk, but just comes up short as he tried to make a poster of number 14, Andrew Reed. Great defense nonetheless. Grayson Young's looking to pick up another steal. He misses it. Number 6, Sean Vandervils, now with the ball. Gets it to 24. Another difficult three.
you know, it's a real shame we don't know that gentleman's name because he's made some incredible shots here this afternoon.
He's made it look a lot easier than those shots are. So great to see as the ball gets back inside to Max Petrick, in and out.
Balance there for Max Petrick.
Yeah.
Right play there.
Great action inside for Max as the T-Birds are looking to take full advantage of that size advantage. Max Petrick, height measuring in at 6'10". He is a gentle giant, and he's our gentle giant, and we're happy to have him. And you know, it's guys like that. He's a late bloomer into this game, Alex. You know, I remember you worked with him a bit last year, early into his career as a Thunderbird. And what do you have to say about his growth as an athlete?
Yeah, I think you know, Max shouldn't move as well as he does for a guy his size and his age, but you know, incredible coordination for a guy that tall. I don't think a lot of people realize what it's like to be up there quite that high. I mean, he's 6'10", makes moves like a guy who's 6'4". So
yeah, it's definitely something you want to give the big man credit for. As you see here, Bradley Bright with the great take to the hoop, getting the harm. Just short of the mark, but he'll be shooting 2 free throws. And yes, Max Petrick, you know, for a big guy, you know, I feel like it's so difficult being that size. You know, there's always this expectation to be and act a certain way, and Max is one of the friendliest kids out there. And for him to move the way he does on the court, especially since returning this year, you know, he's really shown growth in that category with his movement and athleticism.
Yeah, a lot of growth and maturation in Max's game. Yeah, and just another year of play and another year of experience pays off a lot. Great steal there by Grayson Youngs. Great knock out of bounds.
It's been great to see. It's been great to see. Sorry, Alex. It's been great to see that growth from Max as, you know, he does work hard, as you said earlier. And, you know, for a big man to be doing some Olympic lifts the way you have the kids in your program do, it's quite impressive to see him do that. And he lifts some really heavy weights.
Yeah, that's right. Max Petrick himself can lift quite a bit, but what's even more impressive is his technique is pretty much textbook. So, you know, just again goes to show his great coordination for being such a big dude.
Amazing. 53-42, Shep on top still, 11-point lead. Grayson Young's penetrating baseline and unfortunately just centimeters out of bounds.
Shep's going with a little bit of a different defensive look here this quarter.
They're looking to pick up in the full court here. Almost generating the turnover. Thurber ball, number 9. And Bradley Bright losing his shoe.
Still making a play though.
And he needs to get back on D quick. And great job by Grayson Youngs again, making his presence known, putting his body on the line.
Yeah, it's more than just baskets for Grayson Youngs. You know, he brings a lot of intangibles to the table here.
That's something that you have to appreciate as someone who really deeply loves this game, to see someone sacrifice their body the way Grayson, and also number 2 for the Thunderbirds, Uriel Atigla, 53-42, 6 and change left in this third quarter. Max Petrick picking up the ball. Soft finish, or almost, and Bradley Bright again picking up the foul. He's getting beat up under there, but you know, he's shown to be quite resilient as being consoled by his teammates and giving him some good props for his effort.
Yeah, you know, it's maybe not looking quite the way the T-Birds want right now, but they're finding a way to get some points on the board with foul shots and things like that. So I'm sure Coach Youngs is happy with the execution here.
And definitely the timing and the pace of the game does change immensely when you pick up in the full court, as the Thunderbirds have. And also being that the Thunderbirds are playing against the 2-3 zone, a lot of ball movement, a lot of patience needs to be shown, hence why we have such a low-scoring game into this third quarter. 54-42 as Bradley Bright puts up his second free throw. It's good. 6.5 left to go in this third quarter. Bradley Bright picks it up. Great steal by the Thunderbirds. They have possession again. Medit Louis to Grayson Youngs, looking for some good ball movement here. Gets it to the high post. Bradley Bright kicks it out to Termagok. The 3, a little bit too far. Offensive rebound by the Thunderbirds. Medit Louis with a difficult shot. Another one just short, but a good look, but maybe a little head scratcher there for head coach Dave Youngs, as probably wants a better possession there on that one.
Yeah, probably wants to see a little bit more ball movement and a little bit more of an open look, but again, these guys are just trying to get some points on the board at this point.
Medit Louis returning this year to Ross Sheppard, the grade 11 starting point guard for this team. The last 2 games, the first being yesterday and the game before in the last game of the ability round for this Thunderbird team. You know, Medit did pick up a couple technical fouls, so it's really nice to see him a bit more composed in this game. Your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, it's always tough to play a bunch of games in a week. I mean, this is the T-Birds' 4th game here, and you know, emotions can run wild. And I think Medit's doing a good job staying composed out there today. I'm sure he had a talk with his head coaches, and he's looking a lot more composed out there.
Bradley Bright taking the step and making his way to the bench. He looks a little bit rattled. He sacrificed his body too, taking a little bit of a beating as number 4, Keon Moore, makes his way back into this game for the Thunderbirds. 55-42, 5 minutes and 40 seconds in this game. Max Petrick with the great help side, helping Grayson Youngs. Denies with a big block by the big man. Putting lots of pressure on top on the guard, number 6, Sean Vandervils. Tough layup, no good, but number 14, Andrew Reed, comes up short again. Thunderbird basketball.
And we got Grayson Youngs underneath there getting the rebound, showing off that versatility of his and heart.
Grayson Youngs has really made his presence felt here, and I've been really impressed with his game. As yesterday, I think he had a bit of a tougher one, but today it seems a bit more natural for him. Max Petrick inside, and a great finish. You know, the big man, Alex, a couple weeks ago, the national team had a identification camp for the Western Canada basketball players, and players from all over Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and BC and Alberta came to Ross Sheppard, and they were using this great brand new facility, as we've mentioned before. And the one who probably stirred a lot of conversation amongst the head of player development and a lot of the coaches was none other than 6'10" Max Petrick.
Yeah, you know, when you got that body type, you're gonna generate some conversation. But as we said before, Max kind of brings a lot to the table here.
You can't coach size, and that's something that Max Petrick brings to the table. Grayson Youngs showing great patience, beautiful shot fake, something that the players at Lindsay Thurber have to respect, being that he is quite the shooter and has shown that in this game so far. 57-42 for the Thunderbirds. Timeout, Lindsay Thurber. As we see here, some action here, in and out, and a nice hook shot by Max Petrick. And those are shots that he definitely was not hitting yesterday. Yesterday he was making those shots, but the year before, which again shows how strong he is developed as a player.
Yeah, you know, Grayson Youngs here again, great steal, great pass. You know, it's a team effort out there right now for these T-Birds, and they're really bringing a lot to the table.
And again, something that's really important for this young Thunderbird team as they look to make a statement in their first early tournament action, and especially at their home tournament, again, the 25th anniversary. We'd like to send out a special shout out and thank you to ICU Video Productions, one of our main sponsors, bringing you this game. We couldn't do it without them. Thanks to Rob Zitlau and crew on their hard work and dedication. This Thunderbird team, after this tournament, Alex, Saturday they'll have it come to an end, and on Sunday morning they make their way to Hawaii.
Yeah, short turnaround for these guys. It'll be nice for them though to get out of the cold weather here. I mean, it's not too cold, but it'll be nice for them to get down to Hawaii and enjoy themselves a little bit. I think they have a bit of a busy schedule down there, if I'm not mistaken, Ben.
I feel like it's never really a vacation when unless you're just laying on the beach. But when you're traveling, a lot of moving and walking around. So, but hopefully some team building will occur, and these boys will get some good basketball action, which is what they need as they look to build up on a really strong season. Hopefully for these Thunderbirds as they look to make their way to the city championship, hopefully, and maybe even more. They definitely have the depth to do so. Great box out. Thunderbird basketball, as they are sporting their baby blue jerseys for the first time, these brand new ones. Coach Dave Young's one of the few coaches to have his team wearing 3 jerseys. Not usually something you see in the schools here in Canada. Has Medit Louis flexing his muscles after that layup attempt goes in.
A great take there from Medit. Very smart guy. Here he goes on the fast break.
He's going to look to make a dunk out of this, but he changes his mind and gets the layup to go.
It's that body awareness that makes him such a great athlete. The ability to change midair is not an easy thing to do, and Medit makes it look easy there. So.
I was lucky enough to teach Medit last year in physical education, and you know what? As good of a basketball player as he is, I can tell you that he might be a better soccer player, which is unbelievable to think about. Peter Dang. Just about
hard effort there into the rack. So.
And what's even better about that take by Peter Dang is the fact that all 4 of his teammates on the court make their way, as you see on this replay. Hopefully you can see it. All 4 of his teammates go to pick him up, which is fantastic. Something you want to see. That as a coach, it's something that's inspirational, and the ability to come together as a team and plays like that is fantastic. As Ross Sheppard is slowly pulling away from this one. Now a 21-point lead, 3 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, that cohesive bond that these guys share is really evident out there. They play for each other, and they're there to pick each other up if they fall. So it's great to see these guys gel so early on in the season.
Yeah, it's great to see early on. I couldn't agree more, and you hope it's something that continues to push them forward. As I said earlier, the Thunderbirds looking to come back and compete for a city championship. A very difficult league here in Edmonton, as there are a couple perennial yearly strong teams coming from Harry Ainley as Aware making the easy layup there.
Great play by number 11, Ralph Kegway. Again, another tremendous athlete, guy who takes his training very, very seriously. One of the strongest athletes we have at Shep.
He's been incredibly impressive to watch, and for me, I coached him last year, and it's just a phenomenal kid, very quiet, but he definitely makes his presence felt in the gym. Very strong, as you can tell, on the young grade 11 player from Spruce Avenue. Aware with the 3, no good. Rebound by number 10, Eric Moore. Ball being pushed up by Vince Barbuco, as he had a strong game thus far for the Thurber Raiders.
Yeah, he's kind of brought everything to the table. Smooth ball handler, quick guy.
And can hit some difficult threes as well. Keon Moore bringing up the ball. Stian Gleddy also in this game. Ralph Kagwe looking to bring up the pace here. Here comes Stian Gleddy. Peter Dang with the ball. He can shoot this one. Let's see if he gets it. He does. Peter Dang can definitely bring that to the table for this Thunderbird team.
Yeah, if there's one thing Peter can do, and it's finish. That guy can finish the ball off here and put it in the hoop. So
Vince Barbuco with the tough 3, just off the mark. number 10, Eric Moore with the ball. And a jump ball looks to be going back to the Lindsay Thurber Raiders. A minute 50 left, 68-44 as subs come into this one.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of the student body realize how athletic some of these guys actually are, but our testing numbers don't lie, and a lot of these guys hold school records within the school in strength testing and running testing and jumping testing as well. So some tremendous athletes here for the Shep T-Birds.
It's absolutely amazing what kind of a difference you know, your program here at Shep makes for these kids, Alex, and we appreciate your time and efforts here at the school. It's paid off dividends, and hopefully a lot of continued efforts. As you know, I'm sure you're quite excited as Ross Sheppard, as they pick up the Thunderbirds here, pick up a shot clock violation by their great defense. Back to the Thunderbirds. But as I was saying, Alex, you must be pretty excited to have a brand new facility coming your way here at the school, as they are in the preparations of opening up in early March, a brand new fitness center. What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, that's going to be a game changer for this program. You know, we're going to have 15 platforms, 15 squat racks. We'll be able to host deep shot throw from Keon Moore. We'll be able to host a wide variety of teams and athletes in that center, so that'll be tremendous.
We are very excited, and you know, as teachers and staff of this school, you know, we have suffered from a lot of growing pains, but you know, the hard work and patience definitely pays off. You know, there is some growing pains, but at the end of the day, the wait is well worth it, as you can tell with this beautiful facility. You know, and sometimes it's hard to you know, you kind of miss the old gym and, you know, the tradition that was felt here, but, you know, sometimes you just have to get used to it, and it's quite a blessing to have this, to be part of this school and have this new gym. Steve Gleddy with the rebound, gets it to Keon Moore, 71-44 for Shep. Keon Moore, yeah, and it looks to be, we'll see, looked like Keon Moore did wrap his arm around, but first, we're going to get it'll be a blocking call on number 8 as he checks out of the game. And again, this depth, you know, Shep has pulled away from this one, but again, that depth is something that will really help carry this Thunderbird team forward in the games that really matter. And not that this doesn't matter, but, you know, this is a great tournament to have and a great warm-up, but, you know, as Coach Youngs knows firsthand, this is the start of a very long season. As the Thunderbirds pick up the ball off a turnover, Peter Dang with it, kicks it out to Ralph Kagwe, to Aware, back to Peter Dang, 12 seconds left, they'll get the last shot it looks like. Peter Dang wants this one, but he kicks it out to Keon Moore, asking for the ball screen. Aware, looking to get it, he kicks it out to Steve Gleddy, who can hit this shot. Oh, he just misses.
Great patience there, though, from the T-Birds, working the ball around, getting a nice open look there from Steve.
And that's a great thing to see from this Ross Sheppard team as we look at the highlights here. But, you know, something important that we see that some teams don't often do is the fact that they were quite patient with their ball movement and making sure that they maintain the last shot in that quarter, because in those big games and important ones, you don't want to give the team a look at getting a basket and possibly generating some momentum.
Absolutely, Ben. Ball management is key here. So as we look at a great take from Medit on our replay, wow.
Looked like he wanted to hammer that one home, but you know what? Really important to see that from the big man.
You know, Ben, one of the biggest things I've noticed from my time here is not only the tremendous commitment from the athletes, but from all the programs here at the school. We have a great sport medicine program that helps out the teams, and student therapists and a full-time athletic therapist. So our athletes are looked after fairly well, which is really a benefit to them.
It's something that I think is such a selling feature of this school, and makes it a great place to teach and be a part of. I can tell you, I've been here as a student, a little bit as a player, as a coach, and now a teacher here. And I'll tell you, it's amazing to see the transformation, but the amount of attention to detail and the amount of programs that this school has to offer for these students is incredible.
You get a Java Bean gift card.
We'll look to take a little bit of a breather here. on your Thunderbird radio network. Fourth quarter, right about to get underway. Ross Sheppard 71, the Lindsay Thurber Raiders 44.
We'll look to see a few other T-Birds getting the action here as the lead's starting to get a bit much here. So Dave sure is going to put in a few extra guys here.
Tough layup, I couldn't agree more. Tough layup there by Peter Dang as he gets undercut below the knees. But a great finish, 73-44 for this Thunderbird team, who looks to close out this fourth quarter and make their way back to the championship game, looking for redemption as Stian Gleddy making his way up the court. He goes up, maybe a foul, a little bit of contact. I would have liked to see Stian go up strong, initiate contact there. Instead, it looked like he maybe tried to avoid it. So, but again, a play that you normally do see from a grade 10 player. But, you know, it's great to see that Stian Gleddy is a team that the Thunderbirds can put into the action. As Ralph Kagwe getting his first points here for the Thunderbirds of
Great
his
take
totem
there
hoop.
from Ralph. Again, a guy with a tremendous vertical, great quickness, plays hard, everything you want in a basketball player.
He's worked hard to develop his shot over the offseason, something that's still yet to come, but it's in the process. But what he does have is the ability to really work on defense, and he can dribble the ball well and get his way to the hoop. As the Thunderbirds have got numerous attempts.
Yeah, that's Coach Youngs might be scratching his head on that one. There's quite a few attempts right under the basket. But.
And then number 24 for Thurber, looking to complete the and one play. And it's great to see a number of alumni here at the 25th annual Totem Hoop Classic. You know, you don't see a lot of the former players and friends here, being that I am an alumni, but you know, this alumni community at Shep is quite strong, and this is an important event for alumni and students here. And it's always a nice way to bring everyone together once a year. You know, the Steve Surs, the Phil Soodles, it's been fantastic to see everyone as they look to enjoy the action here at Shep. As Ralph Kagwe, he picks up a quick foul.
Maybe a little bit too much excitement there in Ralph's step. Maybe needs to turn it down a little bit, but you know, you want to see that effort out of a kid, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know, it's a tough, it's a healthy medium. It's something tough for these kids because, you know, you want to go up strong to the hoop and attack the paint, but at the same time, you want to make good decisions. So Coach Young's definitely let Ralph Kagwe know that, you know, you got to be patient there and, you know, run our offense, especially with 8 minutes left in this game, and being that it is a 32 or 36-point lead here for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. At this point, Coach Youngs is probably more concerned with execution than he is with getting points on the board, as they have quite a sizable lead. So look for the T-Birds to play a little bit more poised here to end the game.
Jonathan Gomes can shoot the ball a little bit as he does the pull-up jumper off the baseline. It's good. You know, something Jonathan Gomes does really well is he is a very consistent shooter, and that's someone Dave Youngs can put into action if he does need a three. But that is, there's far many of those players here for the Thunderbirds, him being one of them. As Uriel Attigley, he's going to make his way, get a steal. And a great play by Uriel, a fantastic athlete. As said before, Jesse Newman swings it to his Westminster friend and buddy. No good, out of bounds off the shot clock.
You know, tremendous awareness there from Uriel to, you know, get the steal, but also settle down and get the ball moving around.
That kid has heart, that's for sure, and it's always nice to see a kid who really likes to play defense. You know, that's a certain skill that you can't teach. It's something that's one of the toughest aspects of any sport, is to play on both sides of the field or the court, and that's being a defensive two-way player, defensive and offensive player. And being that you are a hockey player, I mean, in a couple weeks we'll have the Ross Sheppard student versus teacher hockey game, Alex. I know you're giggling, but it's quite an exciting time for you, as you were quite the hockey player. how would you describe yourself out there on the ice, Alex?
You know, not the most talented guy out there, that's for sure. But you know, always tried to work hard. Staff student games again, a great event for this school.
Always a nice way to end off the year and bring the kids all together to celebrate the last day of school. Alex, you know, you're quite a humble guy, but you know, you do have a presence when you play on that game, and I hope to be line mates with you. I'm hoping for, you know, some clean games for us. I hope nothing happens in regards to, you know, teammates potentially getting bombarded by other teammates, or, you know, but the potential of some flying sticks to the face. But, you know, you never know what could happen in those games.
Yeah, it's a real wild card, so hopefully things go well.
I'm looking forward to it. 77-48. Ross Sheppard right now has the commanding lead. 6:22 left in this one. Shep making it look a bit easy, but definitely it looks like they're, you know, I don't want to speak too soon, but it looks like they will make their way into the championship game. But one thing is for certain, that their next opponent will not be an easy one, as I believe on the other side, the Strathcona Lords play the Lillian Osborne Legends.
Yeah, both teams there are quite athletic. Again, both have great depth, so T-Birds will be in for a real test there.
It'll be a good test for both teams. They'll probably be seeing at a later date, and a more important one being that it won't be a tournament game, but regular season. The turnover by Uriel Atigla, miscommunication there by John Gomes. 50-77, 27-point lead for the T-Birds as it's 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in this one. Shep looks to close it out. Great take to the hoop, nice and controlled, but comes off short of the net. Jesse Newman picking up the ball, looking to put some pressure. Thurber gets around this pressure, brings it into the half court. Number 24 with the ball here, taking it to the hoop, and the foul. Emmanuel Green making his first appearance, I believe, into this game.
Yeah, Emmanuel Green is another guy who kind of just looks like he's meant to be a basketball player. You know, obviously very tall, very long arms. Testing-wise, had a tremendous vertical jump as well.
Yes, he is one of those guys you have to kind of take a double take at and look at, because he is such a physical specimen. He's a very large individual, very athletic, very strong. What's he like in the gym?
You know, Emmanuel is one of those guys that kind of, again, very quiet, just puts in the work, very strong, very consistent in the weight room.
And it's nice to see from those kids. And again, that consistency, a lot of that comes from you and your hard work, Alex, and we appreciate you here. Just for the moment, I'd like to thank our sponsors for this great tournament we have. We have ICU Video Productions, as you know, being one of our sponsors. McDonald's, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Stadium Sportswear, RTD Exam Prep, Pivotal Physiotherapy, CDI College, Green Bean Java Bistro, and one of my favorites for this tournament, providing us with the best pies in the city, none other than Fife and Deckel.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. I know. I snuck a little piece of pie there in the coach's room earlier, and
I think you had a few slices, if we're being honest, Alex. Which pie did you end up having there from Fife and Deckel?
I think I went with the apple pie there. You know, bulking season. We're in the holiday mode, just trying to put on a few extra pounds here.
I think you're just in the bulking season because, you know, it's getting to that holiday time where, you know, many people will be in the festive spirit, and with that comes a lot of eating. So your timing is impeccable with your decision to go and bulk up, but I hope you're carb loading at the right amount.
Yeah. I hope you know, you got to make sure you're not overindulging, but I think I'll be okay.
You absolutely will, Alex. As Bradley Bright with the errant pass, number 8. Need to find my roster here.
A little bit scrambly here between both teams as the T-Birds are just trying to close this one out. Bradley Bright back into the game.
77-53. Sorry about that, folks. And, you know, again, it's been a lot of games for this Thunderbird team as well. Again, being that they played in the ability round beforehand, so they've had about 3 this will be their fifth game or fourth game in the last four games in 5 days, I believe. So it's been a tough week for them, but definitely showing some resilience early in the season as number 8 Vince Barbuco picks up the tough 2 and the foul.
You know, as we said earlier, Ben, having the depth that the T-Birds do have makes it a little bit more bearable to kind of play that many games in that many days.
Yeah, and something that the bench players are definitely going to need to step up and be a part of this team, so you know they can rest their starter guys. But again, every player has a role for this Thunderbirds team, and everyone's getting their way into the action of the game. So it's nice to see Coach Dave Young's trusting in his bench and also playing with some of their go-to guys such as Bradley Bright and Uriel Atigla, as Madit Luith, looks to make his way back to the game as Jesse Newman receives the ball. Again, sporting the tape on his thumb, coming off a couple injuries of dislocating his thumb. Jonathan Gomes just off to the side, but a great rebound by Emmanuel Green.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that tape job, Ben. Again, our sports medicine program here does a great job, you know, taping our athletes, helping out with rehabilitation plans and all that type of stuff. So, you know, kind of a shout out to those guys because they don't get a lot of praise.
Absolutely, and that program headed by none other than Miss Maria Smith, who before becoming a teacher was a athletic trainer or therapist, a therapist with the Edmonton Rush and also the Golden Bears athletics. I believe the football team, as Jonathan Gomes looks to have that layup attempt back as he missed a wide open one. Frustrating play for the young man.
Yeah, you could see the look on his face. Didn't like that take, so hopefully he brushes that off and gets back to play here.
Certainly hope so, as grade 12 starting player Atur Magog waiting to make his way back in the court. It looks like we have an issue on the bench, maybe potentially 5 fouls here for a certain player. Someone might have picked up their 5th personal foul. We'll take a look. It might have been Bradley Bright who kind of smirking his way out of the game. I think he knew he was out of the game, but decided that he'd continue playing, which is sneaky, but hey, why not if you can get away with it?
Yeah, gamesman, right? Bradley Bright is a gamesman.
The Magic Johnson-esque hook shot by number 3. Don't know his number, but Jonathan Gomes with a great shot fake jab step. The floating 2, wow, that was a tough shot. Gives himself a little bit of a clap. He liked that one.
Yeah, great pushback from Jonathan Gomes after missing that tough layup.
2 minutes, 50 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Ben Feldman and Alex Tonzi joining you here as Atur Magog getting the outlet pass.
Oh, tough break there for
the soft one again. I think he's looking to get a dunk here to send off this Thunderbird team with a big W.
Yeah, I think that would blow the roof off this place right now, Ben.
It definitely would, as we do have a full crowd here in anticipation of this final game for the T-Birds today as they embark on their way back to the finals. As Emmanuel Green with a great solo effort and a quick timeout for subs as Lindsay Thurber taking off the whole bench and bringing them all in. 81-58. T-Birds with the lead. As we see here, Bradley Bright, that's one of the fouls he picked up, and you know, a great take earlier in this in the first half by Vince Barbuco. Max Petrick, great hands, great touch, good finish by the big guy.
Oh, he's a big presence down there in the post.
And here's that almost dunk attempt. I think Madit really wanted that one, but ended up finishing it nonetheless. We have the next game coming up at the 2:30 mark will be the Ross Sheppard Senior Girls playing the visiting team from Saskatchewan, the Aiden Bowman Bears. It'll be a lot more of a difficult game for this Lady T-Birds team as they look to also stamp their ticket into the finals. But first they'll have to get through the visiting Bowman Bears. That'll definitely be a tough task for those girls.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. I think Coach Walls is happy to see his girls come up with a kind of a dominating performance last game, but you know, they stayed true to their systems, and hopefully that pays off for them this afternoon.
Couldn't agree more. The girls with a commanding victory over the Victoria School of the Performing Arts yesterday. Definitely a nice win to have for Coach Walls, but again, this second game for them coming up after this one will be a big test for his girls team. 81-60, 2 minutes to go as Thurber looking to press and get something positive to end this game as Keon Moore breaks this press, gets it to Atur McGock, to Wayne Emmanuel Green, and now to his brother Wayne Oriambo. That's a tough one for me.
That's
and
a tough one, yeah.
Oh no, we were looking to get an alley-oop dunk there for Atur McGock to get some showtime. Maybe he'll get one more attempt at that tomorrow.
Tough look there from Keon.
That's a great play by Coach Youngs. Likes to drop that one. Yet to be worked and performed to its best here, but at some point, hopefully his guards can get that ball to Atur, who absolutely can levitate out of this building.
Yeah, he's got quite the hop, so if you ever get a chance to watch this team warm up, Atur puts on quite the show.
It is fun to see, as earlier yesterday I did talk to McEwen Griffin's coach, and had a lot of positives to say about Atur.
Yeah, you know, a kid with that type of natural ability is going to draw a lot of attention from post-secondary institutions. And just to be clear, T-Bird fans, you're not seeing double out there, number 13 and number 12. They are not twins, they are brothers, actually 1 year apart, Wayne and Emmanuel. So I know I get them confused all the time, actually.
Yes, not a lot of people can knows which one is which. They look that similar. And I apologize earlier. I knew the first name was Eric, but Magdans is his last name, the McEwen Griffins basketball coach.
Right, and speaking of people who are, you know, going on to the next level, Keon Moore has committed to that program as per their website. So Keon Moore will be a Grant McEwen Griffin next year. Something
very exciting for the young man. But first, you know, he'll look to end off this year on a positive.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything Keon Moore wants more than you know, a city championship at this point. So look for him to be a big important piece of that puzzle.
85-60, 30 seconds left in this one. The Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds looking to close out this one as Wayne Oriambo. That one just gets me. That one just gets me every
Multiple
time.
syllables there.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Looks to draw the charging foul. As we do have many different scouts and coaches from many different various post-secondary institutes, as Greg Francis in attendance, assistant coach at NAIT, and also heavily involved in the Canada basketball with the senior men's program and the development side.
Yeah, so even though this is a preseason tournament, this is an excellent opportunity for some of these young men to get noticed and, you know, play at the next level. So you're going to see a lot of effort here over the next couple days.
Absolutely, as Shep looks to pass their way out of this one, the classy way, and they're going to have this one come to a wrap. 5 seconds left. You definitely don't want, I guess a tough one, but Wayne Oriambo yet to score actually with the Thunderbirds, so that's the one he's going to actually take.
Had to get the monkey off his back there. Maybe a questionable shot take, but
yeah, that's a tough one. That's something you don't want Coach Youngs to see and deal with, but at the same time, he has yet to score with the Thunderbirds, so yeah, I couldn't say it better. You know, a nice way to get the monkey off your back. But there you have it, folks. The Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds ending off the game. The final score of today's game was Ross Sheppard 87, the Lindsay Thurber Raiders 61. I'd like to thank our color commentator Alex Tonzi. Our cameraman was Rob Zitlau. Kevin Kyle was on replays. I'm Ben Feldman, and I was your play-by-play announcer. This was an ICU Video Productions Procast. Thanks for watching from Ross Sheppard High School and the 25th Annual Totem Hoop Classic from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Have a great afternoon, folks. We will see you soon as the Lady T-Birds look to play against the
Aiden Bowman Bears.
There it is.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
off. Take care, folks.